Rieccoci ragazzi, bentornati a tutti sul canale di Nico in Game. Sono tornato qui ad Aquila City perché sono interessato alla proposta che ci ha fatto lo sceriffo Daniel, ovvero di unirci ai Ranger. Quindi quest'oggi iniziamo così ragazzi.
The mayor's all right. Always painting too
Emma?
rosy pictures.
You got some business with me?
Sì, mi manda lo sceriffo.
Oh, well, if the marshal sent you to me, that means he's looking to recruit you. Just so you know what you're getting into, I'll explain who we are and what we do. Well, the Freestar Rangers ensure the safety and security of the Freestar Collective and its people. We might hunt down a fugitive, break up a smuggling operation, investigate a starship theft, or put some would-be bank robbers behind bars. Whatever needs doing to keep the people safe, we do.
Direi che è ammirevole.
Like most things that are worth doing, it ain't always easy. But do I think we make the Freestar Collective a little safer for everyone? Yeah, I do. I imagine you've got some questions. I'll answer anything I can.
Ma so quel che serve, possiamo anche andare avanti.
Okay then. A word about myself. I'm in charge of making sure anyone that wants to be a Freestar Ranger is up to the task. That being said, the Marshal wouldn't send you here if he didn't think you had potential. So, what's it gonna be? Are you ready to sign up with the Freestar Rangers?
Sì, voglio unirmi ai Ranger, sono qui apposta.
Might be a good fit for you. The Rangers can do a lot of good.
Before I hand you a badge, I need to know you can handle the job. You helped out with
Cosa
the hostage
devo fare?
situation, but
Sì.
sometimes people just get lucky. Tell you what.
Non è stato
use
un
the
colpo di
mission
fortuna,
terminal
sono
and take
cagati
one of
sotto
the
quei
listed
tizi.
jobs. Your choice. Come back alive, and we'll talk about you joining up.
Ok, mi occuperò di una delle vostre missioni.
Then I suggest you get going.
Completo una missione da Ranger.
Well, hey there.
Allora, capitano fuorilegge da eliminare. Salva l'ostaggio. Dai, facciamo il primo, eliminiamo questo fuorilegge. Ma quasi quasi le facciamo tutte, ragazzi, Ma sì. Ma sì, dai. Ne facciamo con ordine, dai, salviamo l'ostaggio. Vai.
Open fire. Fire!
Vieni qua, dove vai?
Good work dealing with those merchants in Freestar space. Although, you might want to run your reports through spell check first. But that's all.
You ran out of luck.
Enemy's engines are offline.
Attracca, attracca.
Enemy's shield gone.
Per salvare l'ostaggio dobbiamo attraccare.
Docking cycle complete.
Ciao cari.
We must, right?
think there's still more of them out there.
Tutto a posto?
I thought I was dead. Just plain dead. You Rangers are something else.
Fa attenzione.
I'll do my best. Now I need
Okay.
a long shower to forget all this. Thanks.
E questa è fatta, andiamo a fare anche le altre. No, cazzo. Vabbè, c'è qualcosa qua di interessante? Dai, possiamo andare via. Scusa, stavo... Sam, spostati. Andiamo a distruggere il capitano della flotta Cremisi, dai. Le facciamo tutte e poi torniamo da Emma.
Guns are hot. Going in. It's almost done.
Anche se sei di livello 20 ti distruggo lo stesso, capitano,
You're done.
You took out their jump drive.
Fire. Getting tornadoes out here.
Ok. Adesso riscuoti la taglia su fuorilegge e capobanda. Qua.
Another successful jump. No distance is too far for you, Captain. Like touching down on a cloud. Your landing skills never cease to impress.
Could be predators here that believe this junk. So eyes open.
Dove sta? Ok, siamo vicini. Dove sta il capobanda?
Call me crazy, but a little cold is kind of fun.
Sam, ci pensi tu a questi? Io sto cercando un ingresso qui. Ci sarà pure un ingresso, no? Ah, forse...
Afraid your time's coming up.
Avanti tutta!
Never mess with a code.
Beg for mercy.
Aumenta i danni da attrezzi impugnati del 2%. Un po' di crediti, dai. Controlliamo bene dappertutto. Comunque hanno fatto una strage qua. Cazzo.
Must be too tired. This is gonna be...
Got me a tap. Here we go. Damn it! That hurts! Oh, shit! One down. Get him! Oh, reloading.
Today's not gonna be your day, pal.
Oh, finalmente. Non ne avevo più. Oh!
Damn it! Taking us off. Sit still. That's nothing. Enjoy this. No, just eat. Time.
A posto. Sì, sì, sì. Piglia tutto.
Open up all the way.
Oh, basta, il vostro capo è morto, il vostro capitano è morto. chiave. Abbiamo trovato una chiave magnetica. Che cazzo è sta cosa? Oh, l'avete finita? Che cazzo? Andiamo via, dai.
You're going down.
Porca di quella troia, mi avete rotto i coglioni. Ma in quanti siete? Sam, dammi una mano.
Fire everything you got. Ha!
Adesso.
Target's shields are down.
Oh cazzo.
We're leaving. We're sorry. Faster.
Please, please, don't kill me.
Thank you.
Sono arresi?
What's a mantis?
Sam, last month, did you explore that system I asked about? I was expecting a report.
Well, I meant to, but then I caught an SOS.
Ma sono arresi, ragazzi. Meglio così.
Goose chase.
So,
No,
landing
I
site
mean, I meant
lost.
to, but then it became this whole thing. An ambassador was involved.
How about I just assign it to someone else then?
That made me best.
Parla con Sam.
You got time for a quick chat?
Non c'è Sam. Vabbè. Ma non ci segue? Non viene proprio? Sti cazzi. Non so perché, ma Sam non ci sta seguendo, quindi ci dobbiamo arrangiare da soli. Attenzione alle mine. Salve.
One down. Reloading.
Occhio! Occhio!
Not going down. Get it out of here. That hurt? Big mistake. Damn it!
Oh yes, dai. Mi stavo incartando, per un momento ho temuto il peggio. Allora, scheda elettronica. Hanno qualcosa di utile qua? Beh, qualcosina sì, dai. Dove cazzo sono bloccato?
Too much heat! Move!
Get him!
Guarda, che mi devono far perdere tempo questi. Ma abbiamo completato tutti gli incarichi, quindi tutte le taglie, quindi possiamo tornare da Emma, dai. Potevamo tornarci anche subito, però ho voluto farle tutte, visto che c'ero. Sam.
So how much of a thrill has it been traveling with the one and only last descendant of the great Solomon Coe? Is it everything you imagined?
Penso che la tua famiglia possa essere fiera di te.
Well, that's a first. I gotta say, it's a relief being with you. So many people hear Coe and they expect me to pull some miracle out of a hat. Time has a way of just building on itself. Solomon was a good man. Great one, even. But if he ever heard all the bullshit being talked about him these days, he'd flat out deck him.
Ma sembra quasi che tu non sia felice di essere un discendente di Solomon.
I am. And I'm not. Yeah, there was a time, well before Korra, where it really weighed on me. Felt like every little thing I did or didn't do was a reflection on our great legacy. It's enough to drive you crazy. Now I just hope I can help Korra to... I don't know.
Guarda, ogni genitore vuole che i figli imparino dai suoi errori.
Well then, Korra's gonna get a 5-star university education from me. For my father, Korra, and me, everything starts and ends with Solomon Coe. He looked out at the stars, and he dreamed a way to get there. Imagine being the first person to jump into a new system, set foot on a new world. Well, I get it. That's powerful stuff. And now... I'm just getting sappy. You're a bad influence, you know that?
Sono il peggio del peggio.
That's what I like about you. Well, I hope the comic book they make about our adventures is better than that rag on Solomon. The stuff they publish is just downright embarrassing.
Cioè, mi dovevi dire questo? Ok. Siamo tornati. Emma, ho fatto tutto.
Oh, you're back. How'd it go?
Ah, benissimo. La missione è stato un successo.
Good. You did what I asked, so let's go meet the marshal. Follow me.
Ho fatto più di quello che mi hai chiesto.
Don't be causing trouble now.
Hiya.
Chissà se ci sono altre richieste qua. Sì, è pieno. Basta però.
We're
Basta.
headquartered in the upper floors of the rock, but we also have remote stations throughout Freestar Collective Space. Helps us to identify and respond to threats more quickly. There are less than a dozen rangers in all, and we operate with limited resources. Thankfully, most people respect us and are willing to cooperate. In this job, your eyes, ears, and wits are every bit as important as your badge and your sidearm.
You've got
Sceriffo.
guts, no doubt about that.
Marshal.
Emma. Came here because you're satisfied that our new recruit can handle the job.
Seems capable enough, and we could use the help.
All right then. Step forward, recruit. Let me have a word with you. I've got just one question. Do you pledge to defend the people of the Freestar Collective, even if it means risking your own life?
Assolutamente sì.
Good. Here, take these. You're now a Freestar Ranger deputy. I'm assigning you to Ranger
Perfetto.
Wilcox for some field training. Listen good to what she tells you. Welcome aboard, deputy.
Congratulations. The Rangers ain't a bad outfit. They're lucky to have you.
Wish we could throw you a welcome party, but there's work to do. We got word from a farmer on Montera Luna. She says someone's trying to take her farm, and she's afraid she might be in danger.
Ok.
Well, most things do at the start. Doesn't mean they stay that way. That being said, best not to assume anything. Just try to keep an open mind. Grab any supplies you might need, and let's get going.
Pay attention
Raggiunge
to
la
what
fattoria.
Ranger Wilcox tells you.
Fai scorta di quello che ti serve. Non avete una mazza qua. Aumenta la velocità di ricerca ed estrazione delle armi. Ok. Allora, la fattoria sta qui.
Landing struts primed, retros firing.
Parliamo con Micaela, eccola. Arrivo. Che è successo?
Freestar Rangers. You have no idea how happy I am to see you.
I'm Ranger Emma Wilcox. My deputy and I are here to help. Now, tell us what happened.
I was out planting in the fields when I saw some men approaching. They looked like soldiers with uniforms and weapons and such. They wanted to buy the farm. Didn't even ask if it was for sale. Their offer was so low, I told them right where they could stick it. They said
Hai
they'd
fatto
give me
bene.
time to think about it, but if I didn't change my mind, I was gonna regret it. Then they left.
Se avevano in programma di tornare, non saranno lontani.
Back behind the house there's some canyons. They went that way.
Ok.
That place is dangerous. Steep slopes, narrow trails, rock slides, and all manner of hostile creatures, too. If you're going after those men, be careful. Oh, there's one other thing.
Non ti preoccupare, andiamo e
They said
torniamo.
they were the first. First of what, I'm not sure. But there must be more of them coming.
Thank you, ma'am. That should be enough for us to find these men. All right, deputy. Keep that weapon handy and your eyes sharp. Since these guys don't know we're after them, they're probably not making an effort to hide their tracks.
Senti, avete delle
Now,
patate
let's
qua.
go and check out those canyons.
Oh, scusi. Sta riposando lui.
Quiet out here. I like it. Nice change of pace from Aquila City.
Diverse paia di ombre e di stivali conducono nel canyon più avanti. Ci stavo già andando.
Several pairs by the look. Not too old either. Let's head down into the canyon and see.
Sightlines here are terrible. Anything could be ahead. We're behind for that.
Fate attenzione qua, si scivola.
These canyons would have kept me busy for months. I don't know.
Were you celebrating something?
Le orme di stivali girano a destra seguendo il
Good
canyon.
eye, deputy. Looks like we're heading in the right direction.
Oh. Via, 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 via. Le orme girano a sinistra. È pieno di mine qua. Ammazza, ok. Le orme mi piegano leggermente a sinistra. Ok, sempre a sinistra. Non mentiva quando ha detto che era pieno di bestiole strane, pericolose. Pericolose non tanto.
Fun times ahead. Stay frosty.
Comunque siamo arrivati.
Right in that damn neighborhood.
The standoff at the bank ought to keep the marshal tied up for a while.
Wait. You mean that whole thing was a setup to keep the Rangers distracted? We're gonna have some fun.
Well now, look who's here. Ms. Wagner called in the cavalry. Except it ain't much of a cavalry. I suggest you turn around and walk away while you still can.
A firefight here could get messy. Some good old-fashioned talking might be the ticket.
Non vado da nessuna parte, non finché non ricevo delle risposte.
You think you're in a position to make demands? Well, I've got news for you. All you're getting from me is a shallow grave. So, got any last words I should try to remember?
Siete tutti in arresto.
If you think I give a damn about the Freestar Rangers, then you've got no idea who you're dealing with. Matter of fact, that just makes it even more fun. Air 'em out, boys!
Vabbè. Spostati. Guarda che si mette in mezzo ai coglioni. Devo ammetterlo, sei resistente. Leggi la tavola lavoro compiuto. Adesso la leggiamo. I crediti li prendiamo.
Damn, that was a lot rougher than I expected. Let's talk.
Emma,
Find anything interesting?
mostra tavola.
Let's see what we have here. Interesting. So, their ship was stolen from the Hope Tech factory. Whoever pulled that off must have been one hell of a shipjacker. Well, I guess someone really wants that farm bad. Speaking of which, let's get back there and let Miss Wagner know that she's safe. For now.
Ok, siamo pesanti però.
What's the news?
Michaela.
What happened? Did you find those men?
Sì. Erano nella gola come hai detto.
Well, it's good to see you're all right then. They must have been crazy or desperate, trying to take on the Freestar Rangers. So who were they? And why do they want my farm?
Non lo sappiamo, non hanno parlato.
So I have no way of knowing if there aren't more coming. Guess I'll start sleeping with a gun nearby.
Beh, ti
I can't
conviene.
thank you enough. I'd hate to be remembered as the wagoner who couldn't hold on to the farm that's been in the family for so long.
Facciamo solo il nostro mestiere. No, non chiediamo crediti, ragazzi.
same.
Meglio di no.
I'm grateful.
If you have any more trouble, give us a call. We're in system, so it won't take long to get someone out here. All right, Deputy. Let's get back to the rock. We need to report this to the Marshal.
Dove si crea la speranza. Sceriffo.
What's the story on Montero Luna?
That call we got from Wagner Farm turned out to be a little more interesting than I was expecting. Some men were trying to run the Wagners off the land. They tried to buy it first, but when that didn't work, they turned to threats. We confronted them, and unfortunately, it came to violence. None of them survived.
You helped someone in need and came back alive. That's a job well done.
Allora, Michaela è sicuro, l'importante è quello, no?
For the time being, yes, but you could still be in danger. That's why we need to fill in some blanks. What did you make of these men who were trying to take the farm?
Non ne ho idea. Erano esperti ben armati, probabilmente mercenari.
If that's true, then someone must have hired them.
Sì, lo penso anche io.
Now, did you find anything that might give us a lead on why these men wanted the farm?
Solo questa.
All right. Says here the thief had help from someone inside Hope Tech. Ain't much to go on.
There's something else. They were dressed in Freestar militia uniforms. The unit badge was yellow on black with the number 1. Didn't you fight in the Colony War, Marshal? That sound familiar at all?
The 1st Cavalry. I was in that unit for a while. But it was disbanded decades ago. After the Battle of Nera. What was left of it anyway.
La pista migliore che abbiamo è trovare il ladro di navi che hanno ingaggiato, no?
Hell, it's our only lead. The Hope Tech factory is in Hope Town on Polvo. Nia Kalu's our ranger stationed out there. She can introduce you to Ron Hope, the president of Hope Tech. He might be able to help you find the thief. Just make sure you stay on his good side. He's on the Council of Governors, and they're the ones we answer to.
Farò ciò che sarà necessario.
Normally, I'd praise that kind of dedication, but you need
Sì,
to maintain
tranquillo.
a sense of perspective here. Our authority and our power comes from the Council of Governors. Remember that. This is your assignment now, Deputy. Work with the other Rangers. Find out what you can about those men on Montero Luna. Meantime, I'll look into a possible connection with the 1st Cavalry. Good hunting.
Ok.
Nicely done.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Freestar Ranger Nia Kalu. If anyone is hearing this, system's failing. Need help. I repeat, need help.
Welcome to the Freestar Collective. Please maintain your current course while we scan your ship.
Sei a bordo della nave di Nia.
All right, we're done. Welcome to Hometown.
Oh, piano!
Docking cycle complete.
Aia.
Please tell me you're here to help, not to try and steal my ship.
Vice Ranger Sirio, sono con voi da poco.
Welcome aboard, Deputy. Sorry if I can't give you the grand tour just yet. I was tracking a crew of outlaws that's been preying on merchant ships. Bastards got the drop on me. I ran them off, but they got a few good hits in. As you can see, I ain't in much shape to
Stai
make
bene.
repairs.
Devo portarti da un medico.
I'll be fine once the pain medication kicks in. The priority
Ok.
right now is the ship.
Se lo dici tu.
Can't do my job without it. Just patch her up enough to get to Hopetown. The rest can get fixed up there.
Ci penso io.
Thanks. I owe you one.
Ripara la nave. Ma siamo in grado. Allora, vediamo, Dobbiamo andare sotto e sopra. Sam, potresti anche darmi una mano, io mentre faccio questo tu fai l'altro. Cazzo! Ok. Se fosse veramente così semplice riparare una nave.
Thanks. That should get me home.
Senti, bisogna occuparsi di quelle navi fuori legge.
You're right. They were pretty beat up, so I don't think they got real far. But if they make it back to their hideout, I might never find them again. We can't let that happen.
Dimmi semplicemente dove erano diritti. Al resto ci penso
They
io.
look to be heading for Polvo's moon Miatha. Good hunting.
Raggiungi Miatta. Eccoci. È una discarica questo posto. Purtroppo i missili ci mettono un po' a ricaricarsi. Dai. No, la fine è per te. Ok, qua ci siamo già stati, ragazzi, non so se vi ricordate, ma qua abbiamo acquistato il gravimotore, quindi conosciamo bene questo posto.
Howdy.
I think one man made all of this. Nothing was here until Ron Hope.
You made it. Those outlaws didn't give you too much trouble, I trust?
Assolutamente no. Nessun problema.
Good. I'm sure it didn't hurt that I softened him up for you.
Beh,
You've got
diciamo
good
di
timing.
sì.
A courier just came in from Aquila.
Erano già un po'
Marshall sends his
malconci.
regards along with a briefing on your case. I was
Okay.
surprised as hell to learn about the starship theft. Nobody said a word to me about it. Anyway, Mr. Hope can see us whenever you're ready. If you need to take a little time first, feel free.
Incontriamolo,
His
va.
office is upstairs. He's in a meeting, but it should be wrapping up. Come
Sì,
on.
ma credo già di conoscerlo.
Trucks in space. Their motto always cracks me up.
È lui? Oh no. No, non è lui. Lui è il tizio che ci ha venduto il gravimotore. Allora deve essere qua.
Hard to get better prices for a hauler.
All the way up. Is it just me or does
Fino in cima? Andiamo.
Guess being above everyone makes them feel like they're...
Keep an eye on your valuables. If you can't protect your own, you won't want it.
You just need to apply some good old-fashioned creativity. You know how I built this company? By not spending a single credit that I didn't have to.
I guess I could offer double shifts. It'll push payroll pretty high, but I think it's a worthwhile trade-off. As for parts, we could try outsourcing. Do a contract with scavengers, maybe, but that's a decision that's got to be made upstairs.
Che succede se rubo questo libro? Un dettaglio algo, famiglia.
Provided we get a good deal. And I don't mean a fair deal.
Ti hanno colto sul fatto. Però nessuno di loro
Remember, it's not just our bottom line.
ha detto niente. Sono troppo presi a
We're also
parlare.
responsible for the welfare of everyone in the factory.
Eccolo, eccolo chi arriva, eccolo chi arriva.
For our people here, Virgin.
In due addirittura.
No sudden moves.
Excuse me, Mr. Hope?
Non mi prenderete finché respiro.
Shit, why do I always get the dumb ones? Don't hurt them.
Sam sta scappando. Sam non ha aggredito per niente. Dai, ricarichiamo ragazzi. Volevo giusto fare due cazzate.
For parts, we could try outsourcing.
Siamo dei ranger, non possiamo permetterci queste cose.
That's a decision that's got to be made upstairs.
Talk to Elaine about the scavengers. It's not a bad idea, provided we get a good deal. And I don't mean a fair deal. I mean a good deal. Remember, it's not just our bottom line that matters. We're also responsible for the welfare of everyone in the factory. We look out for our people here, Bridget. That's a point of great personal pride.
Excuse me, Mr. Hope?
Well now, the 3-star Rangers. At last. Damn.
Senti, noi abbiamo una certa fretta.
I think we're done here, Bridget.
Yes, sir.
This is the deputy I told you about.
Splendid. Splendid! It's a noble calling, being a 3-star Ranger. We certainly could use more of you. I'm sure I don't have to tell you what an outrage it is to have a ship stolen right out of the factory. Justice must be done, and the sooner the better.
Ho trovato la tua nave rubata sulla luna di Montara.
That's good news. I'll send my people over to bring it home.
Va, dai, manda qualcuno.
Of course, that doesn't mean your work is done. I want the thief found and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of my position on the Council of Governors.
Conosco la tua posizione.
Then, I trust that you know what I expect of you. Now, tell me that you've at least got a lead of some kind.
La nave è stata consegnata a un gruppo di uomini che voleva impossessarsi di una fattoria. Ne sai qualcosa tu?
What does concern me is making sure that this doesn't happen again. Well, I'm not sure I can be much help, but I'll answer whatever questions I can.
Il ladro sicuramente è stato aiutato dall'interno. Ne sai qualcosa?
Nonsense.
Impossibile? Io non credo.
Holds its employees to the very highest standards. Nevertheless, I suppose I could have Cosette conduct a
Ecco, bravo.
personnel review. Rest assured, if we turn up any evidence that one of our people was an accomplice, I'll let you know.
Perché nessuno ha segnalato il furto?
Because I told them not to. If word got out, it would do irreparable harm to our image. I'm in fierce competition with other starship manufacturers.
Esagerato.
Any sign of weakness could be fatal. What's more, every starship thief in the settled systems would likely flock to Hopetown and start planning the next heist.
Direi che qui abbiamo finito.
Very well. I need you to understand something, Deputy. This town is home to men, women, and children who depend on Hopetech for a living. I provide jobs that put food on their tables and a roof over their heads. It's a responsibility that I take very seriously. If word gets out about the stolen ship, my investors will lose trust, and my workers will pay the price. I can't allow that.
You've got a reputation for looking after your own, Mr. Hope. I'm sure the deputy here will keep that in mind.
Is that so? Well, I'm glad to hear it. I've worked hard to make sure that everyone here is well cared for.
Puoi contare sulla mia discrezione, tranquillo.
I'm glad we understand one another.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hope. There's been a development.
Not now, Cosette. I'm in the middle of something.
But sir, we have new information. I've just received a report that the stolen ship was seen landing at Neon just after the theft.
A Neon. Tutte le strade portano a Neon, ragazzi, è incredibile. Ma non mi stupisco, considerando che quel posto è pieno di malviventi e corrotti.
What we discussed. My people are depending on you.
Hey, can I get a word?
Sì. Parliamo, dove cazzo vai? E parla.
Wasn't as helpful as it could have been. Still, at least you know where to pick up the trail.
A dire la verità, speravo di scoprire di più.
Yeah, me too. So, guess you're headed for Neon.
Sì.
There's a ranger stationed there. Name's Jalen Price. He's a little different than the rest of us. But Neon's a different
Lo
kind of
conosco il
place.
posto. Lo conosco. Ok, capito.
He should be able to help you out. Well, we've both got work to do. It was good to meet you, Deputy. Thanks again for helping me out up there.
Cosa farai ora?
I'll be taking it easy for a couple of days. Need time to heal up. Then, I need to get back up there and keep an eye out for more pirates. I'm hoping to track one of their ships so I can find their hideout. Guess we could both use a little luck, huh?
Ok, grazie per aver organizzato l'incontro.
No problem. Good luck on Neon, Deputy.
Altrettanto, ciao Nia, ciao. Ah, ci ha dato anche crediti, perfetto. E andiamo a Neon, dai. Ci volevo andare la prossima volta, ragazzi. Ci volevo andare la prossima volta perché abbiamo la missione principale lì da fare. Però ci andiamo adesso.
Personally, I think Neon's the heart of the Freestar Collective.
Ok, siamo tornati.
Kikuchi's a lot of fun. I even bring Cora here every now and then.
Hey, I don't care who you work for. You can't just... Oh, you're the rookie, aren't you?
Sono il vice. E comunque non è il modo di accogliere le colleghe.
That's all it takes to bruise your ego. You're not gonna last very long.
Non mi sono offeso. Voglio mettere solo i puntini su
Marshall's
lei.
message said you were following a lead about a stolen ship.
Sì.
Truth is,
Quindi ne sei al
a lot of stolen
corrente.
goods flow through here. But this city is real good at keeping its secrets, even from us.
Confido che anche la gente di Neon voglia rispettare la legge.
Yeah, about
Come
that.
no?
This isn't Aquila City. The badge doesn't carry the same weight here.
Lo so, lo so, lo so.
People who run this place aren't overly concerned about the law. Our job is to keep the peace, make sure the violence doesn't get out of hand. The last thing anyone around here wants is some hotshot deputy looking in every dark corner.
Neon's a tough assignment. The
Guarda
ecosystem
Sam,
is rigged against any real
lo
law
so
enforcement.
bene come è fatta Neon. Non creerò problemi.
Good.
That's a smart play, as much as it rankles.
Your stolen ship would have had to land at the spaceport. If it was right off the factory floor, it would have stood out. There's a guy I know, Billy Clayton, does maintenance work around the city and keeps an eye on ship traffic for me. I'll introduce you, but don't expect a favor. Even if it doesn't cost credits, nothing in Neon is free.
Dai, portami da lui.
Come on. That was pretty impressive how you volunteered to help out with the bank heist in Aquila City.
Le voci girano in fretta, eh?
You learn quickly that
Ammazza.
Neon, staying informed and staying alive are closely linked. What stood out to me was that you didn't lose a single hostage. No wonder the marshal tried to recruit you right away. If he hadn't, it would have made him look like a fool, having some random stranger step in and do the job. Now, if someone tried to hold up a bank here, they'd be gunned down without a moment's hesitation. Hostages or not. There are two things you don't do in here. One, you don't mess with Bayou's money, and two, you don't take Aurora off-world. But you understand that, don't you? That's why you just told me that you won't cause trouble. Keep that in mind, and you'll fit
Guarda,
right
non so se lo hai sentito, ma io ho partecipato a una guerra tra bande qua, eh. Mi sono unito a una banda e abbiamo sconfitto la rivale. Non ti sei accorto di nulla? Strano.
I have some sleep crate units available for rent, but
Ma vabbè.
someone like you.
Dove stiamo andando?
Kind of busy right now. Who the... Hey, Billy. Got a second?
Ah, è lui, Billy.
Oh, it's you. Give me a good scare. I thought you were one of Goodman's people.
Sure, far from it. Our new deputy here is working a case, and I thought you might be able to help. Take it away, rookie.
What do you need?
Di recente qui è atterrata una nave rubata. Mi servono informazioni sul pilota.
A stolen Hopetech
Sì.
ship, huh? Well, here's the thing. Neon's got no end of shipjackers. I see them come and go every day. It's tough for a guy to remember one from the other. You know what I mean?
I can see where this is going.
Senti, non costringermi a usare le maniere forti perché, guarda, non ne ho voglia.
Whoa, 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 relax. No need to get rough here. Truth is, I'm scared enough as it is.
Come on. That's only gonna make things worse.
I can help you, but right now my life is in danger, and I haven't even done anything wrong. Freestar Rangers are supposed to protect the innocent, right?
Ti rifiuti di collaborare perché la cosa avrà conseguenze.
Please, I'm begging you. Just hear me out. I've got nowhere else to turn and I'm running out of time. It's about my brother. He died while still in debt to a syndicate loan shark by the name of Emmett Goodman. Now, Goodman's coming after me to collect. He says if I don't pay up, I'm a dead man.
This Emmett Goodman sounds like a real class act.
Yeah, he's bad even by neon standards.
Se vuoi che lo faccia fuori, ci penso subito, Ma abbiamo tempo per questa cosa. Vabbè, senti, parlerò con quello strozzino, ma sarà meglio che ne valga la pena.
I swear it on my best set of wrenches. Goodman's holed up in one of the warehouses on Epside. Place is locked up tight, but there's a guard who watches the door, and he's got the key.
I'll stay with Billy in case Goodman's men come to collect. They're not stupid enough to tangle with me.
Madonna ragazzi, questa missione non finisce più. Andiamo, dai. Facciamo anche questa cosa. Se... Ok, da qua.
This is private property. You'd better keep walking. This is private property.
Mostra il distintivo.
Nah, I don't think so. Neon's got a ranger, and you ain't him.
Devo entrare, importante. Non intralciarmi, ti assicuro che non finirebbe bene.
Easy there. Maybe we can work something out. You go in, talk to the man, and then you come right back out. Try anything.
Ecco, bravo, fatti da parte perché non ho tempo da perdere.
This will get
Che
you in.
cazzo. Allora.
Well now, look here. Well now, always happy to have a visitor. Tell me, what brings you by, friend? Little light on credits, are you?
No. Sono qui per il debito che vuoi riscuotere da Billy.
It's awful kind of you to intervene on my behalf, but I think I have the matter well in hand. Thank you all the same for your concern.
I can't tell if he's kidding or not.
Sai bene che Billy non può saldare il suo debito. Lascia correre, lascialo
If
stare.
you're attempting to appeal to my good nature, you're proceeding under a false premise. You see, in my line of work, it doesn't exactly pay to be soft. What's your stake in this anyway?
Non sono affari tuoi.
But you're making it my business. I have a legal right to collect what's owed to me. No law is being broken.
In effetti non ha tutti i torti. Ti sto chiedendo un po' di collaborazione.
Then offer me something I want, and I'll consider it.
Volendo, i Ranger possono renderti la vita davvero difficile.
Let's just calm down.
Stai sprecando tempo, Billy non ha i soldi.
That ain't wrong.
Finire sulla lista nera dei Ranger potrebbe ritorcersi contro di te.
Ain't no need for that.
Le azioni hanno conseguenze, pensaci bene.
Don't you worry,
Cazzo!
I'm more than capable of keeping myself safe. You
No.
come walking in here
Dai, ma ce l'ho
drunk,
quasi,
newfound
ragazzi.
authority, thinking I'm some small-time crook you can push around. Maybe it's time I show you how we resolve disagreements here in Neon.
Che cazzo? Ma vaffanculo. Problema risolto.
Waste not, need not.
Che stronzi. Comunque devo ammettere che questa pistolina mi piace. Ma come... Vabbè, torniamo da Billy. Senti Billy, problema risolto. Purtroppo ho dovuto usare le maniere forti, ma gli è andata male. Ma stai tranquillo, sono loro che sono andati, sono passati a miglior vita.
Okay, time for me to keep my end of the bargain. The woman you're looking for is named Grace Early. Stealing ships is her line of work. She usually comes here to sell the goods. Rumor has it she just finished a job for some mercenary outfit. And she's been throwing money around, so must have paid well.
I know her. When she isn't out on a job, she's a regular at Madame Sauvage's. That's on the upper platform. I'll back you up.
Forse avremmo anche potuto evitare tutto questo trambusto. Sicuramente, ma vabbè. Qualcosina riusciamo sempre a guadagnarla. Ah, ma qua ci siamo già stati. La conosciamo, ragazzi. Eh sì. Eh sì, conosco bene questo locale.
Hey. Can I get you something? A Freestar Ranger and his... What are you? A sidekick or something?
Sono il vice ranger, Sirio.
Well, I'm sure your mom is real proud. So how come I'm talking to the sidekick instead of the ranger?
This is the deputy's case.
Is that so? And you had to bring backup just for little old me? I'm flattered. Anyway, this ain't my first interrogation, so let's just get on with it.
Vorrei solo delle informazioni. Potrebbero salvare delle vite.
Aw, ain't you polite?
Ma che...
I'm guessing this is the
Mi sta già
part
sul
where you tell
cazzo
me
questa.
that you've got questions and that you expect me to answer them. That sound about right?
Niente giochetti, so che hai rubato la nave e mi dirai il perché.
Fine, yes. I jacked the ship. But look, I was just a contractor. I didn't even keep the ship. I gave it to some men. It was just a quick, clean job. I made sure nobody got hurt.
Erano mercenari e hanno minacciato una donna per avere la sua fattoria.
Hey, all I did was provide them with transportation. They didn't say anything about where they were going or why. Look, I wouldn't have gotten involved if I thought anyone would be hurt. I've got no love for violence.
Not asking questions is just as bad as giving consent. If that woman had been killed, you'd be an accessory to murder. Did you think about that?
No, I guess I didn't.
Basta chiacchiere, dimmi quello che sai.
It's not that simple.
No, è semplice invece. Sembra che tu non capisca, mi serve questa informazione adesso.
I don't care how badly you need it. I'm not telling you.
No, con lei non funziona. So che c'è un modo per superare questa faccenda.
I'd like to think so.
Nessuno saprà mai che me lo hai detto, te lo prometto.
I'd like to tell you. I really would.
Ci siamo quasi, sono indeciso. Non te lo chiederei se non fosse molto importante.
Maybe
Sì.
I can make an exception.
Sì. Hai la mia parola,
I guess
dai.
if I can't trust a Freestar Ranger, then I can't trust anyone, right? I was approached by a woman named Maya Cruz. Said she was a senior member of the First and that she had a job for me. She was working with someone inside Hope Tech and pitched me on the idea of jacking a ship right out of the factory. We were deep into planning the job when she had some kind of medical emergency. She said she needed surgery and would be in recovery for a long time. That was a few weeks ago. Haven't heard from her since.
Continua.
Not long after that, I got a message from a guy named Marco. He said he was the money man for the First, and he offered half up front. Never met him directly, though. It was always through intermediaries and using encrypted slates. Got the feeling he was paranoid as hell.
Do you have one of those encrypted slates on you right now?
Yeah. Here. Take it. I'm done with all this. Anything else you want to know?
Per ora è tutto, apprezzo la tua collaborazione.
Yeah. Sure.
Next time you're at the Rock, you should give that encrypted slate to Ranger Alex Shadid. He's got a gift for cryptography. If anyone can crack that slate, it'll be him. I'm gonna head back. Good luck, Deputy.
Then I'm free to go.
Guarda, se prometti che hai chiuso con i furti di navi, sì, sei libera di andare.
Suits me. I'm getting too old for this line of work. Besides, I'm going out on a high note. Ain't many can say they grabbed a ship right out of Hope Tech. Should make a good story for the kids one day.
Ok.
Excuse me.
Scusa. Ok, siamo tornati. Nel frattempo si stanno attivando missioni, veramente ragazzi, non so neanche io il perché.
Not everyone gets to say they were.
Hey, I wondered when you might come by. I'm Alex. Nia's report said you were heading for Neon? I've always wanted to go there. What did you think?
È una merda.
What
Cioè, il posto è bello.
Well, that's a first.
Però ci
I guess
bazzica
not
gente
everyone likes to
all'osca.
have a good time. Speaking of which, on to business. So how'd it go? Turn up anything useful?
Consegna la tavola criptata.
Oh, come to daddy, my sweet little mystery slate. I see lots of coffee and late nights ahead. Now, if you get any more of these, bring them to me. It helps if I can compare different instances of the encryption they're using. Just look for me up here. I have no life, so I'm not usually hard to find.
Beh, buon divertimento.
Oh, I will. I guarantee it.
Sceriffo.
Let's talk for a minute. Welcome back. Any luck finding out who stole that ship from Hope Tech?
Ho rintracciato la ladra con l'aiuto del Ranger Price.
Glad you got a chance to meet him. Sounds like you're making real progress.
Piano piano. Sto cominciando a prendercela a mano.
You're off to a good start, but that's all it is. A start.
Sono solo all'inizio, minchia.
What did you learn from the starship thief?
Ho fatto il colpaccio, ho avuto i nomi di 2 membri di alto rango del primo, Maya e Marco.
Well done, Deputy. Sounds like you've got a couple of new leads to follow up on. I have a guess who Marco might be. I served with Maya Cruz. She's a technical genius and an expert hacker. I can give you some background if you want it, or we can go straight to planning your next move.
Guarda, mi servirebbero delle informazioni per intracciarli, perlomeno.
Like what?
E di che tipo? Marco non ha rivelato la sua posizione, come faccio a trovarlo?
Around the time he got out of jail, we started hearing Marco's name in circulation. Word is he's heading up a smuggling racket. Based on what you've learned, I'd presume he's funneling his ill-gotten gains to the first. Ranger Autumn McMillan is out at Red Mile right now looking into the smuggling operation. I suggest you pool your resources. Just remember, that's outside Freestar Collective space, so we've got no
Ma questo non sarà un
there.
problema per me. Che struttura può fornire cure mediche a lungo termine?
Most likely place would be the clinic. It's in Freestar Collective space and provides the best medical services credits can buy. They also guarantee privacy, so it's an ideal place for someone trying to keep a low profile. Ranger Ben Armistead is posted there. I'll send him an update on the situation.
Beh, ho abbastanza informazioni.
Your
Dai.
priority is to gather more intel about the first. What are they planning? Who are they working for? Where are they headquartered? Just remember that your targets were locked up because they were loyal to their unit. They think the Freestar Collective betrayed them. In other words, you ain't gonna get a warm welcome, so be careful. Good hunting, Deputy.
Mentre io faccio tutto il lavoro, tu te ne stai qui seduto. Ok, che sei lo sceriffo, ma cazzo, alza il culo. Raggiungi il miglior rosso. Ma siamo già stati qua? Non ne sono sicuro. Non credo.
Landing initiated. Watch for flaring.
So you got time for a quick chat? I appreciate it. You're in.
No, in realtà è la prima volta che ci vengo. Sì.
Before the Red Mile blood sport thing, this used to be a decent place. Now,
I don't make chit-chat with patrons.
You didn't think we'd notice that you tried to slip away without paying your check?
Go ahead. Start some trouble.
Wait a minute. Judging by the wide-eyed and clueless look on your face, I'm guessing you're the new deputy.
Esatto.
Wonderful. Well, your timing couldn't be worse. I've spent weeks trying to crack this smuggling ring, and I'm about to take a very important meeting.
Senti, ho un lavoro da fare io.
Yeah, well, you're here now, so we'll just have to make it work. I don't have time to catch you up, so you're gonna have to follow my lead. I'm about to meet with a contact who might be able to give me vital information about the smuggling ring. If you play your cards right and don't do anything stupid, she might be able to help you find Marco. If you're ready, my contact is here and waiting.
Incontriamo il tuo contatto.
Follow me.
Pardon.
È uguale a Sam questo.
I can't wait for the next run. It's gonna be one to remember. You said you'd be alone.
Is that Donovan Reese?
Well, things change.
Damn. Guy's a legend. He's run the mile more than anyone alive. I've got some stuff on my mind when you have the time.
So you're working with Autumn, huh? Who are you?
Chi vuole saperlo?
A woman who's growing increasingly impatient, that's who.
The deputy here is interested in meeting Marco to talk about that mercenary company he's been funding. Since part of that money is coming from his smuggling operation, we're working together.
So you're investigating the first? Why?
Affari dei Ranger.
Have it your way. It doesn't really matter to me.
I guess an introduction is in order. Like Marco, Jade here is the head of a small smuggling cartel. Difference is her crew stays out of Freestar Collective space, while Marco's group operates exclusively within it.
Except now he's looking to expand his operation. And he started moving in on my territory.
La concorrenza fa bene agli affari. Dovrei solo accettare la sfida e metterti d'impegno.
Well, thanks for the economics lesson, but I think I know my trade.
E allora, cazzo
Look,
vuoi che ti
the bad news
dica?
is Marco's incredibly paranoid. He never stays in one place for long. The good news is I know how to find him.
But you're
Dimmelo
not going to
allora.
tell us yet because you want something.
I want the same thing you do. I want Marco out of
E
the
allora
picture.
dici dove si trova.
Like I said, getting a meeting with him can be damn near impossible. One of the few people who can arrange such a meeting is right here at Red Mile.
May divine. We've suspected for some time that Red Mile was a meeting place for smugglers. If she's in business with Marco, she won't give him up easily.
So essere molto convincente.
Yeah, well, so can she. I can tell you right now what she's gonna want, because it's the same thing she always wants. She wants runners. It's how she makes most of her money. Of course, people that hard-blooded aren't easy to find.
Yeah, well, I'm not going out on the mile. That's a death sentence. There has to be another way.
You've been a ranger long enough that too many people know your face and your name. Runners attract a lot of attention. If someone recognizes you and tips off May, this whole thing is shot. You, on the other hand, are just a deputy. It's pretty unlikely that a lot of people know you.
You don't have to do this. We'll find another way to get to Marco.
Non c'è tempo, devo scoprire cosa ha in mente il primo.
All right. It's your call to make.
Planned this out real good, didn't you, Jade? The Freestar Rangers do the dirty work, and you get rid of a rival.
Don't forget the part where the Freestar Rangers get to bring down a big-time criminal while your deputy friend here gets intel on the first. Seems to me like we're all getting something we want, thanks to my good planning.
If it's really as simple as asking May Divine for a meeting with Marco, then I guess that's all you need to do. We'll wait here for you. Try not to die. Will you?
You're really going to take on the mile, huh?
Any day you make it through is a victory in my book.
Allora.
That's really simple out there on the red mile.
Ah, a new face. I wonder.
È la prima volta che vengo qui.
Runner here to challenge
May.
the Red Mile, or simply one seeking a respite from the burdens of life. My name is May, and I'm the proprietor of this establishment, home of the famous Red Mile. I assume you're familiar.
Beh, so di cosa stai parlando, sono qui per questo.
Well, of course you are. How could you miss hearing about the settled system's most exciting sporting event? Why, even people from the most backwoods systems like Sol have heard of the Red Mile. I'm happy to answer any other questions you might have. In the meantime, please enjoy our world's famous hospitality.
Sto cercando Marco. So che voi due vi conoscete.
That is true. But Mr. Graziani values his privacy.
Questo l'ho già
What is your
sentito.
business with him? Exactly.
Voglio lavorare per lui.
It's no small favor that you're asking. But yes, I can arrange such a meeting. It's been too long since we've had proper entertainment. If you're willing to provide it, I'll give you Marco. Are you prepared to run the Red Mile?
Se è ciò che serve, lo farò.
Good. Once you've begun, I'll collect bets from our patrons who will place wagers on your survival.
Tornerò sicuramente sulle mie gambe.
That's what every runner says.
Sì, ma io non sono come tutti gli altri.
The mile's very real.
Now that we're clear on what's expected of you, are you ready to begin?
Non so in cosa ci stiamo immischiando, ragazzi, ma vediamo.
Good. Come with me and I'll introduce you.
All the fun of Neon, plus betting on whether people are going to survive. Yep, these people are total winners. You got time for a quick chat?
Valued
I
patrons
appreciate it.
and honored guests, for one brave soul, the hour of fate is at hand. Yes, a runner has come to test the Red Mile. Now is your chance to get a good look at our fearless challenger as you contemplate your wagers. Do you see the fire in those eyes? What is that if not steely determination? I think you'll agree that we're in for quite a show. The rules are simple. Go through the door and take the elevator down to where the mile begins.
Questa?
Activate the beacon at the base of the tower and see in the distance. Once you've done so, return here alive and your run will be complete.
I don't give a shit.
Go now
Che cosa?
and see if you can survive the mile.
Attivo il segnalato.
Victor, when the time's right, I'd appreciate a chat.
Vai Sam. Mica ho preso una mina e ci siamo appesantiti. Dai, sbrighiamoci a fare sta roba. Oh cazzo. Stai attento Sam. Occhio.
Scratch one.
Sono pericolosi questi, eh.
Usually industrial complexes like this are worth rummaging through. Rather being brave or very, very stupid. That should be the tagline for the Red Mile.
Ce l'abbiamo fatta. E mo tocca tornare indietro. Guarda. Oh. Oh, non mollano questi, eh.
Going all caveman.
Comunque le granate veramente non servono un cazzo in queste situazioni. Andiamo via Sam, torniamo indietro. Gesù, non finiscono più. No, volevo lanciare la granata. Lancia una... Oh, merda.
Easy there, no bad guys around. Wait, no one's around, right?
Via, 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 via. Sam. Sam, ci sei? Non lo so, ragazzi, ma ci raggiungerà. Io vado,
Hello. You'll handle them. Paying as...
Oh.
Congratulations, runner. You have succeeded where most have failed. In fact, you seem none the worse for wear.
Ho fatto quello che mi hai chiesto, adesso tocca a te.
Indeed you have, and in most impressive fashion. As promised, I'll set up your meeting with Marco. I'll dispatch a courier to let him know you're coming. Please take a moment to relax and enjoy our hospitality. I'll return shortly.
Here to bask in my glory, eh?
You made it. You're back. Are you okay?
Sto benissimo.
Really? Either the Red Mile's reputation is exaggerated or you're just that good. Anyway, I'm relieved you made it through okay.
Why? Afraid you'd lose all that work you put into your smuggling investigation?
I wouldn't expect you to understand. All you see in people is what you can get from them. I'm glad, because that was an incredibly brave thing you did. And we need rangers with that kind of courage. Also, I owe you an apology. I was pretty awful to you at first. I'm sorry about that.
Non ti preoccupare.
You're right. Let's focus on the job. Once you're on your way, I'll return to the rock and let the marshal know what's going on. Come home safe, Deputy. That's an order.
You always were the soft one, little sister.
Oh, go to hell. Or at least make yourself useful and get us some drinks.
Sorry, friend. I don't do all that.
Sam, sei tornato, meno male. Senti, May. May.
Time for me to keep my promise, runner? You can find Marco on Kodos aboard his ship. I'd advise you not to keep him waiting. He
Ci vado
is not
subito.
exactly patient.
Non vedo l'ora di incontrarlo.
Then it's in all our interests that you make haste. Travel safely, runner. Should you ever crave the challenge of the mile again?
No, basta, mi basta una volta. Sinceramente. Andiamo a incontrare questo Marco.
I had a feeling about you.
Ready to land.
Bus is in the back.
Marco?
This music is gonna put me to sleep.
Ma che bel posto però, ragazzi, eh? Questo qui si tratta bene. Mazza. Eccolo.
Welcome. May's message didn't exactly make it clear why you wanted to meet with me. If you're looking for work, my organization is always in need of pilots and security personnel, willing to take risks.
Non sono qui per lavorare per te, sono qui per fermarti.
Is that so? You did well to find me. I'm not an easy man to locate. Though I suppose we haven't exactly been keeping a low profile lately. Given the nature of the contract, a degree of exposure was always a risk, but a calculated one. To be honest, I think the Major is all but spoiling for a confrontation with the Rangers. Still, I confess, I'm a little disappointed that the Marshal sent a deputy instead of a full-fledged Ranger.
Io sono parecchio esperto, guarda.
And who might you be?
The name's Sam Coe.
A name well known across the Freestar Collective. It's an honor to welcome a descendant of the great Solomon Coe.
Yeah, well, that name probably means more to you than it does to me.
Your deputy friend here could have a bright future. Assuming we all keep our heads.
Ho intenzione di fermare il primo, ovvero sia te.
Attack me. You'll never get off this ship alive.
Questo lo dici tu.
I have a better idea. I'll give you what you want, if you agree to do the same for me. I won't tell you everything. I do still have some loyalty to my unit. However, I can point you in the right direction. In exchange, I want the Rangers to let me operate with a free hand.
Niente accordi, dimmi quello che voglio sapere o affronta le conseguenze.
I have a better idea. Instead, I tell you something you don't want to know. But you should. The Council of Governors is a group of greedy and corrupt liars who are using you and the other Rangers to protect their own interests. Do you really think they give a damn about the people of the Freestar Collective?
Non lo faccio per loro, lo faccio per proteggere persone innocenti.
Whatever road brought you here, your journey ends today.
Il tuo viaggio termina qui, bello.
It's not me now. I'm making this look easy. Didn't even break a sweat. Got one.
E visto che ci siamo, saccheggiamo anche il posto. Spara, Sam, spara. Ammazzali a questi stronzi. Chi è rimasto? Facciamo piazza pulita? Potremmo, eh. Vabbè, patata. Oh cazzo. Mi è scappato il dito. Possiamo anche andare via. Ma perché ogni volta che veniamo qui si attiva una missione?
Hey, deputy.
Might be hard work, but sure beats it.
Hey there, deputy.
Not everyone gets to say they work in the wrong.
Alex.
Hey there, deputy. Way I hear it, you've been keeping busy jumping from one side of the Freestar Collective to the other.
Sì.
How do you like the job so far?
Sto facendo il mio lavoro. E fa bene sapere di poter fare la differenza là fuori.
That's good to hear. So, what brings you by?
Consegniamo la tavola criptata.
Well, well, what do we have here? Well, this is new. Very interesting indeed. I'll see what I can do. If you can get me another one of these, it'll give me more context for the encryption and should speed things up. In the meantime, you be careful out there, deputy. From what I've heard, these mercs mean business.
E quindi dobbiamo andare anche a fare l'altro. Sì, colpo chirurgico. Andiamo alla clinica.
Unknown vessel. Respond immediately or face the consequences. Scanning. Huh? What? Damn it, you're the Mantis. It can't be. It can't be.
Sì, è l'Ammantide. Hai scelto il bersaglio sbagliato, caro. Ecco, bravo, levate dai piedi. Mi ha dato 1800 crediti. Hai dei figli? Tantissimi figli. 10, 20, 30. Quanti figli hai? Dai. Allora dimmi i loro nomi, tutti. Adam, Anna, Alphonse, Adele, Adam. Sì, legge 2 volte Adam. Ma vattene, che non ti faccio niente. 791 crediti mi ha dato. Ma sì, vattene via, che non ti faccio niente. Che poi io in realtà è qua che dovevo venire. Boh, che cazzo ne so. No. La clinica è questa. Ma devo contattarli o devo attraccare e basta? Attracca.
All right, let's cycle that airlock and get aboard.
The clinic's a bit of a legend in the medical field.
Ma'am, I'm just
You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple
I'm
landings.
not blaming you
They'll
directly.
cause plenty of havoc if left
Dr.
unchecked.
Salvato, how long have you been here?
About a year now, Doctor.
And in that year, how many times have you
Need a
had
doctor.
this conversation? Yes, that sounds right. 3 times.
Yeah? Got some trouble? Oh, now hold on a minute. You're the new deputy, ain't you? Yeah, the marshal's been sending out reports, keeping us all in the loop in your investigation.
Ottimo. Risparmieremo tempo per tutti e due.
Yep, I'm pretty well caught up on things. Ben Armistead, pleased to meet you. Well, I guess that's the long and short of it. You're the newest member of the Rangers, and I'm the oldest.
How you doing, old man?
Well, I'll be a dust wrangler's cousin, Sam Coe. Oh, he's been too damn long. Why, Cora must be what, 9, 10 years old by now?
I wish. She's 12.
Almost a teenager? My goodness. And here I thought I had enough gray hairs already. So, are you back?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm just out here to watch the deputies back and see what kind of trouble we can get into.
I see. Well, back to the matter at hand, then. So, is one of them first mercenaries here at the clinic?
Avevo un problema medico urgente. È quasi sicuro che sia qui.
Well, every ranger knows it's important to trust your instincts. No better place in the settled systems to get medical treatment. You can bet it beats anything them UC piglets got. Ironic, given they're the ones who built it. I know just the man who can help you. Right this way, deputy.
Fai strada. Ben, ti seguo. Ben. Oh.
Hey there, Ari. Working hard or hardly working?
E alzati, che palle, quando ci metti?
Well, the deputy here could use some help. Came looking for someone who might be a patient. Well, I'll leave you in Mr. Miller's capable hands. You need anything else, I'll be in my office.
Ammazza che sforzo che hai fatto, sei alzato dalla sedia.
Not sure if those Baroons.
Scusa.
I'll try to help you, but our computer systems have been having some issues. They
pareva.
scavenge what they need. Lots of old facilities left over from the colony war, and they like to pick them clean.
Fai quello che
I
puoi.
wish some of the doctors around here were as patient as you. So who's the suspect you're after?
Un ex militare di nome Maya.
Former soldier, huh? They say war changes people forever. Makes me sad, the thought of soldiers who come home and don't fit in anymore. The name's not ringing any bells, but maybe we can approach this another way. Do you know what was wrong with her?
Beh sì, so qualcosa. Era un'emergenza medica che richiedeva un trattamento prolungato.
That should help narrow things down. I can access the patient records from my terminal, assuming the database cooperates. Come on.
This place is a far cry from Aquila City. That's for sure.
Okay, give me just a minute here. Maya Cruz. Maya Cruz. Come on, Maya. I need you to be in here. Okay, finally. Here we go. Oh. No matches found for a Maya Cruz. If Maya's here, then she's got to be using an alias. Which actually makes a lot of sense if she's a wanted woman.
Ma deve pure esserci qualcuno che corrisponde alla sua descrizione, almeno parzialmente, intendo, dai.
Yeah. Let me think for a second. All right, hang on. I know that we do have a few female patients staying with us. There's Candace... what's her last name? Doolin. Candace Doolin. And then there's the Nakamori woman. I think her name's Jane. I don't recall offhand what they're here for, but it's a start.
Senti, se riuscissi a scoprire l'origine del problema ai computer, forse troverei Maya.
You're welcome to use the Ranger Station terminal. I'll enable admin access for you.
Allora, vediamo, Vediamo cosa possiamo fare. Allora, il computer sta qua. Ottiene accesso all'ala VIP.
Whatever you do, don't let anyone in here sneeze on you. That happens. We can't let you leave.
Never a dull moment.
I'm sure there's someone else that can help you. Yes, what do you want?
Ho bisogno del tuo aiuto, devo parlare con una persona del reparto VIP.
Sorry, but we don't permit unscheduled visitors to that area. You'll need to ask whoever it is that you wish to visit to make arrangements with me. Who exactly are you?
Mostriamo il distintivo.
You could be Solomon Coe himself and my answer would be the same. No. The rules are the rules, no exceptions.
There's no progress that bureaucracy can't ruin.
Ascoltami solo un attimo.
I'm a busy man, so make it quick.
Aiutami a procedere alla popolazione. Aiutami a proteggere la popolazione del collettivo.
I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Sto rintracciando dei mercenari, assassini a sangue freddo, uccideranno ancora.
Awful things happen to good people every day.
Che palle. Sta mettendo alla prova la mia pazienza, dottore, e continua così la situazione potrebbe diventare violenta.
If you think I'll be cowed by your threats, then I'm very happy to disappoint you. I think I've heard enough. I've given you my answer and I'm not changing.
E allora vattene a fanculo. Scusa, dottore.
Yes, what do you want?
È molto probabile che una fuggitiva si nasconda nel reparto VIP. Devo entrare.
Even if that were true, which I doubt, access to that area is strictly limited. Who exactly are you?
Te l'ho già detto. Sono un ranger.
I require you to respect my authority as a senior doctor here at the clinic. The answer is no. The rules are the rules, no exceptions.
There's no progress that bureaucracy can't ruin.
È la mia parola di collega nella professione medica che userò la massima discrezione.
Oh, I wasn't aware. I suppose if I can't trust a colleague, then I can't trust anyone. This will get you in. Conduct your investigation.
Ma era così
quickly and
semplice?
without disruption. I do hope you won't make me regret this.
Oh, you look like I work here, right? A couple of patients didn't see
The clinic's over there. Something close.
Che cazzo? Ok. C'è qualcosa che non quadra. I ranger ci stanno addosso, ti troveranno e il loro nome falso. La cosa migliore è andare a nascondersi in un posto sicuro del tuo nascondiglio nella vecchia miniera sull'asteroide del sistema. Nel sistema Sakharov potrebbe essere l'ideale. Magari ruba una delle navi d'emergenza della clinica se hai bisogno di fuggire rapidamente. Ok. Oh. Ci siamo. È stato un piacere, tante belle cose. Ciao, Occhio.
We have a clean dock, right on the money.
I think you are, then you're here to bring me in. I had to warn you. I've had more than enough time to prepare for this. So either you leave now, or I'll be burying what's left of you.
Maya, ti consiglio di arrenderti. Non fare pazzie. Non fare pazzie, Maya. Ma da capire come ci arrivo, come la raggiungo a questa. Questo portellone è chiuso. Allora, con molta calma. Esploriamo e cerchiamo di capire. No, non ci credo. Ma dai. Ma non ci credo.
Damage all systems.
Evitiamo di morire proprio ora, per carità. Allora il cavo porta su qui al computer. queste torrette e questi bagaruzzi non mi fermeranno mai. Guarda. Comunque Sam non è venuto con noi, o sbaglio? È da un po' che non lo vedo, cazzo. Oh, sono circondato. Porca di quella puttana. Distante. Sto iniziando a stancarmi di questa tippa, veramente. È là. Quando vado via da questo posto, ragazzi, devo assolutamente trovare qualcuno che mi venda kit medici. Ci dobbiamo so di stronza, bastarda. Brutta stronza. Guarda, finisco di ammazzare.
Well, what are you waiting for? Finish it.
Non sono qui per uccidere. Perché il primo vuole un terreno agricolo.
That's what we were hired to do. The pay was good too. But the best part was getting to stick it to the people who turned their backs on us.
Torniamo a noi.
Fine. I ain't feeling conversational anyway.
Sembra che tu non vada l'ora di morire.
Of course I ain't. What kind of fool would be eager to die? I'm just not stupid enough to deny what's inevitable. I wish I were. How about I make this real simple for us both? I've got maybe a few weeks to live and I ain't spending them behind bars. You want to put an end to me here and now? Then fine. Get it over with. Life's kicked me around enough as it is. But if you want to let me die on my own terms, then leave me in peace.
Guarda, non me ne vado finché non mi dà le informazioni sul primo.
Well, how about a test?
Che
Rangers
test?
are known to be handy with a gun. But here's a problem you'll have to solve with your brain instead. I've encrypted this slate. If you can crack it, you'll learn something useful. Now get out of here and leave me in peace.
Scusa, ma... Per arrivare fin qua... Ho sprecato molte munizioni e molti kit. Anzi, i kit medici li ho proprio finiti. Cazzo di casino anche per uscire, porca miseria. Oh. Ah, dormi.
Hey there, Deputy. How goes the hunt for the first?
Proceda lentamente, molto lentamente.
Right means taking the necessary time, you know? If you ask me, I don't think they stand a chance. You're like an Ashta creeping silently through the high grass, waiting for your chance to pounce, and then boom! Down they'll go. So, did you get any more of those encrypted slates? Because let me tell you,
Ce l'ho.
I am so close. Oh, come to daddy, you sweet little piece of technology. You go stalk your prey and leave the rest to me, Deputy.
If you're looking for the Rangers, check the upper levels or the canteen.
Come in, Deputy. Take a seat.
Grab a chair.
While you've been in the field, we've had more reports about farmers being threatened and attacked. Unfortunately, some didn't survive.
È terribile.
It's worse. It's tragic. How's your investigation proceeding?
Sta andando abbastanza bene.
That's assuming he finds something useful. Otherwise, you'll be no better off.
Speriamo di no, cazzo.
Come on, Emma. You know as well as I do how tough this job is.
That's exactly my point. When it comes to deciding who earns a Ranger's badge, I will not compromise.
Let's move on. I asked the other Rangers to share their opinions of you. And there are some things I want to go over. We'll start with Ranger Callow in Hopetown. She was grateful for your timely arrival, and impressed you had the guts to take on those pirates. Nia says you were respectful with Ron Hope and didn't push too hard. That shows me you were listening when I said to go easy on him.
Non mi è piaciuto molto, ma ho fatto quello che dovevo.
Duty has to come before personal feelings. I'm glad you understand that.
Let's continue. We've got a detailed report from Ranger Price about your recent visit to Neon. He said you took on a syndicate loan shark to help an informant.
L'informatore era innocente, dovevo aiutarlo.
And you were right to do so. Helping people is our most important duty, even when you're conducting an investigation.
You got results, and that's what matters most. Price was impressed by that. Said you really took the initiative.
Ranger McMillan praised what she called your uncommon bravery and dedication. She said you took on the Red Mile so you could get a meeting with Marco Graziani.
Ci sono persone che soffrono, non posso deluderle.
Sounds like you're starting to understand what it means to be a Freestar Ranger.
So what happened with Marco? I doubt he gave you that slate out of the kindness of his heart.
Ho cercato di convincerlo, ma non ha voluto consegnarsi pacificamente.
I suppose underestimating you was his last mistake. Damn. I thought if anyone could see reason.
Non lo è stato.
What about Maya Cruz? Her loyalty to Hull and the 1st Cavalry was stronger than most.
Maya non le restava molto da vivere, quindi ha preferito farla finita a modo suo.
I guess I'd want the same thing if I were in her place.
Excuse me, Marshal?
Not now, Alex. We're in a meeting here.
I know, but this is important. I've done it. I've cracked the encryption on the slates. Now, I don't know exactly where the First are headquartered, but there are references to a place called the Factory.
The Factory? That was our nickname for the main facility where the mechs were manufactured.
Under the terms of the peace treaty, they shut all the mech factories down right after the war.
But they didn't destroy them. At least not all of them.
Andrò a
The
controllare.
facility was on Arcturus 2. It could be a dead end, but if it's not, then you'd better be ready for a fight.
If you have questions before you head out, ask the Marshal.
Nessuna domanda. Vado.
Those first guys should have spent more time on their encryption.
It's really an honor to be able to help out.
Vai giù, stronzo. Ok. Oh cazzo. Non l'avrai vinta, bastardo. Oh, ma quanti cazzo sono? Tosta, ragazzi,
Like touching down on a cloud. Your landing skills never cease to impress.
Planets like these. Got some stuff on my mind. When you have time.
Siamo salvi per miracolo, veramente.
I mean, the mechs were terrible weapons of mass destruction, but it's sad that they're outlawed.
Paxton, commanding officer of the First. Marshal Blake must be getting desperate sending a lone deputy out here. But I'll give credit where it's due. You're a hell of a pilot. You came here seeking justice. It's waiting for you inside.
Teniamoci pronti a tutto, ragazzi, perché non credo che sarà facile. Peccato non poter usare... Oh, cazzo, ecco.
Grab everything useful.
I'm a man of action. I've got no use for lies. So when I tell you that you're being manipulated, you know I'm telling the truth. You think the Council of Governors really cares about anything but themselves? They're greedy and corrupt. You're a tool in the hands of the unworthy, just like I once was. I was loyal. I followed orders, and I led good men and women to their deaths. I'll carry the stain of that dishonor to my grave.
Sto andando a fuoco. Mi devo curare. E non ho kit. Cioè, forse uno ce l'ho anche, ma... un po' sì, mi sono curato adesso.
Time to tango.
Però Sam, se ti metti in mezzo...
This is my favorite part.
Mi devo avvicinare per forza. Sam è tutto rincoglionito. Non sta combinando una mazza. Piano piano li secchiamo. Ne ho visto anche un altro qua sotto.
Found it. Gonna get some blood pumping, huh? Better we get it than someone else.
Sì. Però dobbiamo stare attenti.
The 1st Cavalry was the greatest fighting force the Freestar Collective has ever seen. At the Battle of Nera, the 1st Cavalry was destroyed. Why? Because the generals got scared and asked for a truce. I've got no sympathy for cowards, or for the people who put them in power. I've also got no sympathy for those who do their bidding. This means you.
Incoming!
Grande.
Oh, this is pointless.
Scappi, bastardo.
Target's down. Today's not gonna be your day, pal.
Sto finendo le munizioni. Quest'arma mi sta tornando molto utile in questa situazione, però sto finendo le munizioni.
Say goodnight. This is my favorite part. Looting the dead ain't glamorous, but it sure is profitable. Never mess with a crew. Blood pumping, huh?
Attenzione. Attenzione. Quanto li odio questi. Guarda.
Justice? Well, what about justice?
Please, drop some of that. I'm hurting just watching you.
Minutes from winning the battle and the war, when the ceasefire order came down.
In tutta sincerità mi sto veramente stancando di questo stronzo, eh. Eccolo lì il bastardo. Povero coglioncello. Sto arrivando, bello.
Never mess with the code. Blood pumping, huh?
Hey, another kill!
Che peccato, sei ancora vivo.
I can't believe it. You just took on some of the best mercenaries in the Freestar Collective and cut right through them. If we'd have had more like you in the war, we could have planted our flag in New Atlantis.
La guerra è finita molto tempo fa.
Not the way it should have. Of course, I can't expect you to understand what we sacrificed, what we lost. You don't know what it's like to look around and see the faces of warriors who trusted you to lead them as they die screaming. I watched brave men and women torn limb from limb by monsters. I saw mech pilots cooked alive in their cockpits as their machines burned. Those deaths didn't have to be meaningless. But spineless leaders gave up on us, even when victory was within our grasp.
I've heard stories about the Battle of Nera. Can't imagine what it was like to see the horrors you've seen.
You pity me? Is that it? You haven't earned the right to pity me.
Basta temporeggiare, mi direi tutto.
You really want to know? Because you might not like the answer. Last chance, deputy. You can walk away right now and remain blissfully ignorant, thinking you fight for a noble cause. But if you still want the truth, I'll shatter that illusion for you right now.
Posso affrontare qualsiasi cosa tu abbia da dire. E parla, così ti ammazzo e me ne vado.
Not long after I started the first, I was contacted by a man who said he represented someone wealthy and influential. I refused to work for a shadow client, so he agreed to set up a meeting. Imagine my surprise when Ron Hope showed up. He offered me a lucrative contract to take possession of certain farms throughout Freestar space.
Ron Hope. But he's on the Council of Governors. There's no chance he'd be capable of such a thing.
E tu hai accettato l'incarico.
Sure I did. The money was good, but the payback was the real reward. If I could avenge my men, make some credits, and eventually expose a member of the council, well, that, my friend, is my definition of justice.
Non meriti di vivere.
I know.
Dopo tutta la fatica che ho fatto.
But after what he's done, I'm not so sure.
I'm gonna make this easy for you, deputy. I'm gonna die the way I lived. Weapon in hand, no compromise, no fear. But first, here, take this. Use it to cut out the weakness rotting at the heart of the Freestar Collective. When the next war comes, and it will come, the Collective needs to be strong. Now my unit's waiting for me, and I'm gonna report for duty one last time. Goodbye, deputy.
Questa è la fine che si meritava, appunto, e basta. Oh, ragazzi. Che cazzo. Aumenta la capacità di carico del 5%. Oh. Beh, a questo punto possiamo anche andarcene. Non lo so se qua troverò roba interessante. Ma appelliamo tutto, tanto siamo già pieni di roba.
When the time's right, I'd appreciate a chat.
Ho capito, Sam, che mi vuoi parlare, ma non starmi attaccato. Allora, ragazzi, risolviamo questa faccenda una volta per tutte.
It's a tough town, but these are good people. You can't protect your own.
Well earned, Birkin.
Off-worlders.
Bene, bene, bene.
Ambitious quote. Good to see you again. Well, I've just received a report from the Marshal about your progress. He said you had a promising lead on the mercenaries who stole my ship. I trust.
Ora mi è tutto più chiaro. Ho scoperto qualcosa di molto interessante. Sì.
Don't keep me in suspense.
Paxton mi ha detto che l'ha ingaggiato per liberare quelle fattorie.
The disgraced war hero, who went to prison? And you actually believed him?
Ho le prove.
Two-faced bastard. Oh, I suppose this is his revenge against the Council of Governors for what happened during the war. I'm impressed, Deputy. It's clear you have a bright future ahead of you.
What's going on? What is this about, Mr. Hope?
Nothing that concerns you, Birgit. In fact, why don't you make yourself scarce?
I think I'd like to hear what the deputy has to say.
Dimmi tutto.
The cards are on the table. So why not? The truth is, we've been falling behind the competition. Significantly so. We needed solutions. A few years ago, I began to diversify. We started to research chemicals, fuel, those sort of things. We developed an experimental fertilizer. And it failed utterly. It wiped out entire crops. I was prepared to write the whole thing off when we made a discovery that changed everything. Turns out, our fertilizer was transforming the soil, bolstering its mineral content tenfold.
Quindi hai sfruttato contadini inconsapevoli per trasformare il terreno.
Mining is expensive, and so is the cost of raw materials. My mineral enriching
pezzo di
fertilizer solves
merda.
several problems at once. The farmers provide free manual labor, and once the land is ready,
Che
we move
bastardo.
in to extract and process the soil.
You tricked them into poisoning their own land for your benefit.
I have a business to run. I can't afford to spend a credit more than I absolutely have to, Mr. Coe.
Hai usato il primo per impossessarti dei terreni e mantenere l'operazione
I never
segreta.
intended for anyone to be hurt. I told Hull to buy
Non
the
hai mai
land,
voluto
not
fare
take
del
it
male a
by force.
nessuno. Stai facendo male a tutti quei poveri contadini e anche alle loro terre.
Stubborn folk. And I couldn't risk any witnesses.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How could you do something so awful to innocent people, to families?
Not another word out of you, Birgit. I can take your job. And more.
Mio caro, mi sa che non farei più nulla.
Discuss this later. In any case, I suppose the gig is up. I give you my word that I'll call off the operation and return the land to its rightful owners.
Non basta.
You're right. Yeah. Those families deserve to be compensated for the inconvenience. Perhaps a discount on their next purchase from Hope Tech.
A coupon? I can't believe this guy.
With that resolved, let's talk about you. As a member of the Council of Governors, I'm authorized to award you a substantial bonus. And of course, we'll both agree to forget about my little cost-cutting endeavor.
Possiamo ucciderlo, ragazzi, oppure accettare tutti questi crediti che farebbero gola a chiunque, oppure consegnarlo alla legge. E lo consegniamo alla legge, ragazzi, perché questo qui non merita nient'altro.
I'll do what's necessary to protect my company and my employees. If you tell anyone about this, you're risking their livelihoods. Do you really want to put all these people out of work and make their families suffer?
Non voglio far soffrire nessuno, voglio solo giustizia.
Justice can be complicated, Deputy. Sometimes the cost of exacting justice is greater than the cost of doing nothing. I'll make myself very plain. I won't let you jeopardize my reputation, this company, or the people who work for me. If that means you suffer an unfortunate incident at the hands of my security personnel, so be it. I'm important. You're nothing.
Che paura.
Actually threatening to attack a Freestar Ranger, are you?
Careful. I think he means business.
Ti ho dato una possibilità, non l'hai accettata?
Such a shame to see a promising career cut so tragically short.
Non voglio farvi del male, ma se mi attaccate...
He tried to have you killed. I don't understand. Mr. Hope always seemed like such a good person. But everything he said about the farmers and hiring those
Senti, vuoi prendere il suo posto?
So awful.
O però un avido bastardo che indossava solo una maschera.
No, you're wrong. That's not all he was.
Dici?
He always looked out for us, for his employees.
Allora dovresti ricordarlo
I
così.
know what I just heard and saw, but he was a friend. No. He was more like a father.
Ma se ti trattava di merda.
You killed him.
Non volevo ucciderlo io.
Nobody should ever.
Eri presente, no?
Especially when it means killing someone who meant so much to so many people. What happens to us now?
Deve esserci un vicecapo, no?
That would be Elana Nwankwo. She seems pretty capable.
Ma sì, ma tranquilla.
Maybe we'll be okay after all. I guess we'll have to figure things out. Find a path forward.
There's a lot of smart, hard-working people here. You'll figure it out.
Oh, noi il nostro dovere l'abbiamo fatto. Più di così...
Akila's really the heart of the Freestar Collective.
Good to see you back safe, Deputy. What's the word on the mech factory? Were the mercenaries hiding out there?
Sì. Era il loro nascondiglio.
Damn, you've got guts of steel. Did you find out why the first was taking over farms?
Ron Hope ha ingaggiato il primo per ottenere le fattorie.
Ron Hope? That's one hell of an accusation.
Eh sì, ma è la verità, ed è anche
Are you
morto.
really that surprised? Hope's always had a reputation as a man who'd do anything to succeed.
He's on the damn council, Emma.
So he can make laws favorable to his business interests. Sure, he's known to look after his people, but do you really think he gives a damn about some farmers on Montara Luna?
Did Hope explain his motives at all?
ha fornito alle fattorie del fertilizzante sperimentale che arricchiva il contenuto minerale del suo, uccidendo però le colture, la terra e tutto il resto. Sapete come funziona, no?
Some Hope Tech initiative to help farmers. At the time, I just figured it was a PR stunt. Seems a little more sinister now.
Please, tell me you've got some evidence to back up these extraordinary claims.
Ecco.
All right, let's see what you've got. Interesting. Yeah, this is pretty damning. Especially this last bit about destroying the slate. And you confronted Hope about this?
Lui e i suoi uomini mi hanno attaccato. Non è sopravvissuto allo scontro.
Damn. This is going to send shockwaves throughout the Free Star Collective. If the people can't trust their leaders, anarchy could follow.
Have a little faith, Daniel. We're not the United Colonies. One bad apple won't spoil the whole damn barrel.
Brava Emma.
You to say. You ain't the marshal.
Not yet, but you ain't gonna live forever, old man.
While we've got you here, there's one last piece of business to take care of. Emma, would you please?
With pleasure, Marshal. When you first joined us, I told you that you'd undergo an evaluation process. There's one thing left to do. A simple question. Do you feel ready to wear the badge of a full-fledged Free Star Ranger?
Certo, fin dall'inizio.
In that case, I won't hold you back any longer. Marshal, I approve the deputy for advancement to the rank of Ranger.
Thank you, Ranger Wilcox. In your time serving as a deputy, you've shown exceptional courage, fearless tenacity, and a high regard for the safety of our citizens. By the authority granted to me by the Council of Governors, I hereby promote you to the rank of Ranger. Here's your badge. Wear it with pride. But don't forget the solemn responsibility it represents.
Congratulations. You truly deserve it.
Minchia. Mi impegnerò per meritare questo titolo.
I know you will, Ranger. Let's hear it for our new Ranger.
Grazie, grazie. È stata faticosa. Veramente. Ci sono... In qualità di Ranger ti è stata assegnata una nave di classe senza costi di... Ok. Perfetto.
The mayor's all right. Always painting too
Quindi.
rosy a
Quindi niente ragazzi, dobbiamo... Siamo dei Ranger a tutti gli effetti. Sono contento, è stata lunga, è stata veramente lunga. Anche con i tagli ragazzi questo episodio sarà uscito lunghissimo. Avevo già intenzione di dividerlo in due parti, ma penso che farò un episodio unico proprio dedicato a questa missione, alla missione dei Ranger. Poi torneremo anche a Neon nei prossimi episodi, penso che torneremo a Neon per la questione del manufatto eccetera, però ci fermiamo qui ragazzi, assolutamente. Voi come sempre fatemi sapere la vostra, lasciate like, condividete, iscrivetevi al canale, sempre se vi fa piacere, e noi ci vediamo alla prossima. Ciao a tutti.